Hi, I'm Jill with the West Regional Branch of the Mobile Public Library, and I was just about to make myself some dinner. And I was thinking that this is actually a really good recipe for beginner cooks. So I thought I'd film it and put together this video for you. What I'm going to make is a one-pan meal with chicken, vegetables, and potatoes. So this is super easy and it takes just a few minutes to put together. First, I'll start off with my potatoes. I've got some red potatoes here. I'm not going to peel them. What you want for this recipe is small to medium-sized potatoes. So if your potatoes are on the large size, you may want to half or quarter them till they are the right size so they'll get cooked all the way through. This size potato is probably fine just the way it is. This one I'll probably cut in half. These are just washed. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my potatoes really quick. And feel free to use whatever kind of potatoes you like or you happen to have handy. It does not really matter for this recipe. You just get your potatoes ready and you stick them in a baking dish. Okay, I'm not sure what size Pyrex dish this is, but it's a fairly large size. Use whatever size you have. I'm going to make a pretty big serving of this, but if you've got a smaller dish, you know, you could easily do serving for two in a smaller dish. If you don't have a Pyrex dish, anything you have that is oven safe and has sides on it so that the liquid will not run off into your stove will work. So if you've got like a sheet cake pan, something like that, feel free to use that. Okay, so I've got my potatoes in my dish. Next I'm gonna put some vegetables in. I've got a bag of frozen squash, and I've got part of a bag of some frozen green beans. Use whatever kind of vegetables you have. Use something you like, or basically anything you're willing to eat. I am putting a lot of vegetables in mine because I like vegetables, but you can do just one bag. You don't have to do two like I just did. All right, and last I've got some frozen chicken. These are tenderloins, you know, so they're boneless and skinless. And that's just, again, what I prefer. I have made this with whole chicken, I made it with dark meat, and I typically prefer dark meat. But one thing, if you do the whole chicken with the skin on it, or you do dark meat chicken, you will have more like chicken drippings in the bottom of your dish, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can make the serving and the presentation of it a little bit off because it'll be kind of on the greasy side. But again, do whatever suits you. If you don't mind a little chicken grease in the bottom and you prefer dark meat, or you prefer chicken with the skin on, go ahead and put that in your dish. So there we go, we have it. We have potatoes, vegetables, and chicken all in one dish. Now after that, I'm going to add some butter. I've got a whole stick of butter. If you use a fattier chicken or chicken with the skin still on it, you probably want to put in less butter than this. Also, if you're doing like a meal for two instead of, I got enough for four here. If you're doing a smaller portion, also size down your butter. So I am just going to cut this into chunks and throw it on top of my vegetables and chicken and potatoes. Okay, now that is spread out across the top of the dish. And then the last ingredient I have is this is a packet of Zesty Italian Dressing, salad dressing mix. You'll find these dressing mixes on the salad dressing aisle in your grocery store. I've also made this with ranch dressing mix. Again, this is one of those things you can vary it to your taste. I like the Zesty Italian dressing mix best of anything I've tried, but even in a pinch, you could even just use salt and pepper. So I'm going to sprinkle this over the top, and I like to kind of concentrate it on the chicken and the vegetables. The potatoes tend to be a little bit they're more okay on their own. They don't need the seasoning as much. But you sprinkle that all over the top of your baking dish. And now the last step I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this in foil, and I'm going to put it in an oven heated to 350 degrees for an hour. Okay, now this is going to go in my oven, and in an hour dinner will be ready. And my timer just went off, and I just got my dish out of the oven. It's going to be very hot, so make sure you use some oven mitts. Be careful not to burn yourself. Also, don't put that very hot pan directly on your countertop or your dining table. Depending on what your dining table or countertop is made of, it can scorch the material. So you want to use a hot pad or trivet. I've got a silicone trivet under my dish. Just take this tin foil off, and I will use a fork to test to see how done these potatoes are. Yes, they are done all the way through. If they weren't, just put it back into the oven for a few more minutes. And the chicken appears to be done as well. And it came out looking pretty good, even if I do say so myself. So all that's left to do is to make myself a plate and give this a taste. That is delicious. That Italian seasoning goes great on these vegetables and on the chicken. And this is a nice, easy to make, balanced meal. It just takes a few minutes to prepare it, and then it's just, you pop it in the oven. I hope you give this a try, and I hope you join Lynn for the next Cooking Basics video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.